Metal Slug.
Damn. Is the fit on right? How you guys doing this fine evening? Oh man, what do we got here? Kahi thinks of the tier 1, 19 months. Damn. True. Oh, this is what the poll was about. This is what the poll was about, Bard. From Entry. Good name, by the way. Rodmeyer Rob thinks of the tier 2. Big tier. Appreciated. Huge. 34 months. Perfect streak. Welcome to Heywoah Twitch. Where the only thing hotter than RMC are our takes. I haven't looked at them. I don't know what they are. The mods handled that. We're doing full React Andy on this one. M Panda, thanks for the first time chat and the first live. Live and A Live 102.9. The Fox. Or whatever. Holy Proxy, thanks for the 5 tier 1s. Big Grip. Big Grip. Thanks for the generosity. I appreciate it. Holy Pog, let's go. Yeah. Orlando W, big tier 3. Damn. Jesus. How did nitwit like you get so tasteful? 36 months, perfect streak, tier 3. God damn. Thanks for the sub. Ready for the hot takes? Almost. I gotta thank people first. Is this a Magic the Gathering stream? It's not, Roy Boy Doss. It could be, but it ain't. I did make a funny video. Well, the definition of funny, I suppose, is subjective, but you'll find that on Heywoah Plus. Germ Minis, thanks to the tier 1, 33 months, big. Apart from Entry, is currently on a 5-stream watch streak. This guy is a watcher. Any watchers? Apart from Entry, yes. Does believe they submitted a take. These are anonymous, so if you happen to find yours and everyone's shitting on it, just play along. It's fine. It's for the content. Orterius thinks it's 38 bits. Bus stop train station. You have Professor Orlando reference in my Heywoah stream. Am I dreaming? Wake up. Wake the fuck up. Hitting up the Maw Pod, cooking up some yummy content. Never fails to satisfy. Oriax, thanks a lot for the confidence. Maybe all these hot takes just suck and the show's boring. I don't know. I have no control. I have some control. It's Warhammer 50k. True. Good meme. Stream interrupted my viewing of the updated Heywoah Centerpiece tier list on YouTube. Hey, thanks for watching my stuff on my second channel. Appreciate it. It's not too late to turn back. That's true. We could always play Betrayal at Krondor. EverQuest 1. There's still time. The Cream Team had to bring it back. It's an oldie but a goodie. How long do you got before we start? I don't know, man. I'm chilling. Thanking people. Talking the chat. You know. We do these intros. Why, you gotta drive to the gas station real quick. Pick up a liter of milk. Pack of Marb Reds. Some lotto tickets. Monster Zero Ultra. Bus stop train station, thanks for the 100 bits. Train station. Hey, we had a level 4 hype train, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Got to level 4, damn, that's good. That shit ain't bad for a stream of my size. 108.3 the Griller. 100 bits from bus stop train station, I already said that. That's almost 44 fortnights. I'll take your word for it. I have a BFA. I'm not exactly a mathematician. Yeah, man, that take sucks. Hate to be the guy who submitted that. Am I right, fellow non-submitters of that take? The snow walk is great. It distracts you from the heat outside. If it's hot by you this time of year, you must live in a very different place than me, which is fine. Rodmire Rob, thanks for the tier 1s. 5 gifters, thanks a lot. Thanks for the grip, Rob. Appreciate it. Implying you have enough of a spine to have a take it all. That's why I made them anonymous, and I pointed that out in the tweet. So there's no fear. You can shout into the universe and have your take echo to and fro. Nobody knows it was you, you know? That's why I did it. That's the reason. You'll know which one is your take because it's factual and correct. True, yeah. Feel like our radio name should definitely be Big 123 FM, the Dunk. We only bring you the cream. Just proving how little of a spine you have, checkmate. Alright. Fair enough. So fucking hype. Alright. Ahem. Still new to AoS to have a hot take. Just purely informed. Uninformed takes. No big deal. I'm sure we'll find them. You know? I'm sure there will be a take or two, perhaps many, where you might wonder, does this person even play the game? The answer is probably not. But I read the Ogre Battle Tome, so, you know, you and GW might have something in common every once in a while. Anyway, we just got a letter. Wonder who it's from. What's happening today? Sorry if it's already been said. This is the stream title today. The hot take line. I put out a tweet and the Discord message where people can submit their Age of Sigmar hot takes anonymously. We got like 200 of them. Possibly 250 by now. And, hey. You call it, we stall it, right? Hey, thanks for the hype train. I appreciate it. Good work. And so we're reacting to the hot takes. It's going to be a little memey, I think. It's going to be a little opinionated, a little hot takey. I will be reflecting the energy, probably, of the things that are done here. Don't take offense. But that's just standard for using the internet. Am I right? Hot swap. What do we have here? What do we have here? Hot AoS takes? This is a PowerPoint made by SGRK, the mod. And I didn't look at these beforehand, because, I mean, that would kind of spoil the fun, wouldn't it? And so he set me up with something, I see. For review. Please delete the fire image on each slide to reveal the hot take. Enjoy. Oh, there he is. He's got his little fireman cap on, pondering the orb. Alright. Yeah, pondering the Scarorb. Immortal Ajax. Hey, thanks for the prime. I appreciate it, by the way. TYVM. It's me, Jupes, dropping 20 tier 1 subs. Holy shit. This guy's got rockstar money. Holy shit. Hey, everyone viewing. If you missed getting gifted a sub here, get fucking owned. The chances are so low. Anyway, Jupes, I appreciate it. Thanks for the generosity. It's a napkin. This is a good one to have chat on screen for the for the VOD? Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Big flat sub-gifting. I'm gonna wait for all 20 of these. Get owned. Okay, I wasn't really gonna wait for all 20 of those. I heard my phone. I forgot to shut it off. That was a clever ruse. Anyway, thanks for the generosity. I appreciate it. Fee Monk 1 hundo. Thanks for the tier 1. 77 months away from 100 months. I'm gonna have to take your word for that. Award save is too high. He's a 2-month subscriber. He's chillin'. Wizardry 7 up there with Corondor in your opinion, Unky Heywoah. Wizardry 7 was a good one. Kind of a big change from 6. Which in turn was a big change from 5. 7 might have been the high point. Is that a hot take? It's gonna be big. Alright. Let's get this one out of our system. Just to get a feel for it, you know? I knew it. Dwarfs. Number 1, Dwarfs, a real army. Number 2, Dwarfs should stay dead. These are 2 back-to-back hot takes. Submitted by 2 different people. How do I feel about this? Are Dwarfs a real army? No. Could they be if Games Workshop wanted them to be? Sure. Should they stay dead? Dwarfs? Oh, pardon me. Yeah, the incoherent dog in chat. What are Dwarfs? Great question. Chaos Dwarfs. If you condense those in somewhat of a Japanese way, you get Dwarfs. How do I feel about these hot takes? I could throw a hot take right back. Stay dead. Easy stay dead. Armies, ancient Warhammer Fantasy Battle crap. No one played it. It was a Forge World thing. Really expensive. Looked terrible. All of the dwarfs were like hilariously racist looking. Huge nose, Jewish curls off of everything. Loved slavery and cannons. That's about it. Give train car artillery to the dwarves that are in the game already. Nothing of value was lost. Put them in the old world if you need to put them somewhere. Get it out of here. That's it. That's the take. It was easy. It wasn't hard. If you absolutely, positively have to make yet another army in Age of Sigmar, and we're up to 27 fucking armies in the game, the least you could do is get rid of the fine cast from a third of the armies in the game, and make some of the armies that are a little light on stuff kind of feeling a little more like armies. What I'm saying is support the armies you have, because we already just about have too many. We're approaching 30. It's a crazy number of factions in the game. There's some way more important narrative, campaign, you know, things that have been referenced in the lore heavily that are clearly just around the corner for 8 years, like Valerian Shadow Elves, stuff like that. Take care of the stuff that you're working on already. Support the armies you sell already. Fucking chill with new armies. Especially ones that have essentially zero interesting parts about them. Besides trained car artillery, which you can give to anybody. There's my take. Put it in the old world if you want to. It was already a Forge World army to begin with, barely. So keep it Forge World, which is the person that handles the old world. I'll give this hot take a 5 out of 7. Ahem. Next. Shooting. Probably going to get a lot of these. If you think shooting is OP, you are either not using enough terrain, 1, or 2, are bad, or both. Oh. Damn. I'm so tempted to just snap agree to this one. Yeesh. Yeah, that's very tempting to simply agree to. God damn. You know, he's out of line, but he's right. Unleash Hell was bullshit, though. That's my olive branch. Unleash Hell? 40k ass, fan fiction ass move. Keep it out of the fantasy game. Doesn't belong. 40k rule. Jettison it. But in general, yeah. In general, if you think shooting is completely overpowered, you're probably not using enough terrain, you're probably bad. But most people don't play the game / are bad. And you gotta cater to them somehow. Anyway, I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 7. I wonder when we'll get like a complete 4th edition should stay in Guhur. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Do not care. If it goes to Ulgu to introduce Malarian elves, if it stays in Gur, I don't care. I just don't care. Have the campaign be cool. That's it. Doesn't much matter to me where we stay or where we are. I like the game. Somebody must care about this, but that person is not me. So, I don't know, whoever submitted this hot take, I don't know if it's that hot. Maybe it's hot in the narrative circles that care about stuff like that. I don't know. Unsure. Next. Good work, though. Most of the ways the armies play isn't as cool as their models or their lore. In other words, you think, mechanically, the rules writers are failing to keep up with the quality of the models and the lore. This is a cold take. You are a satellite that has traveled far enough outside of our solar system that you're essentially just chilling in absolute zero somewhere. Yeah. I don't think anyone has ever accused Games Workshop of writing emergent, perfect, really inventive, elegant rules to the likes of like Magic the Gathering or something like that. No, they've never been accused of such a thing. They've never stood trial for that. In ages past, I don't know if they actually even said this. Maybe this is just an old wives' tale or something like that. But they used to say, maybe, that they were not a rules company, they were a model company. And then everyone in the world is like, fucking duh. We know. That's why you suck. And it's become less and less true over time, and they've been getting better at it, which is something I always have to point out. They have been getting better at it. But, yeah. Yeah. You know, we would like them to continue to keep getting better at it. Alright. Alright, yeah. Although, to be honest, some of those models they're selling, almost embarrassingly old. So, I don't know, man. I've seen some rules. I've seen a rule or two that is more fun or more interesting or inventive than some of the models that they refuse to stop selling from the 1990s. So, I don't know, maybe this is more complicated than you might think. You love tipping streamer name amount? Me too. I love tipping streamer name. When I'm watching streamer name and I tip an amount and they don't even read it because they can't read it because there's 25,000 people watching, I clap. You're opening the latest Dawnbringer story about rat warsuits. True. Hubando being very inclusive of all streamers. He is, yeah. Hubando was specifically chosen. 1990 should always be statted with the Latin Anno Domini. It's true, yeah. I like Anno Domini. Common Era just sounds too clinical for me. But I suppose time marches on, right? Anyway, yeah, true. Do better. Next. Silent people are nothing more than background fluff and will never be a real army. Damn, this is our second hot take about Dwarfs. Got him. Anyway, yeah, that's probably true. It's hard to predict, right? But yeah, I mean, that's probably true. That's essentially where I think Dwarfs should stay, in my personal opinion. And like other cringe fucking weirdo background lore things that used to exist in a wiki 20 years ago that people are obsessed about half as a meme because their lore is edgy, you know? Ooh, Dwarfs are super, Dwarfs look like propaganda posters from 1942 with big hats. And ooh, Famir, their backstory is all a bunch of rape, right? Like, just fucking keep it there. Be a serious person. Anyway, as far as silent people, yeah, probably. Hey, a man can dream, though. This is about what could happen in the future. Personally, I don't know. My hot take, I guess, here's my hot take, is that when anyone asks me for a hot take about what brand new army they should make, I say they shouldn't. Just stop. It's fine. 27 different army lines with their own books and 10 boxes of models and background lore and balance updates they have to fucking do. That's fine. That's plenty. Chill. I know brand new armies sell well, probably much more than bolstering old stuff, but there comes a point where there's simply too much. There's too many characters in this fighting game. Fucking chill out. It's part of my greater dissertation about why Stormcast should not get a single new model for the next 15 years. Their cup overfloweth. Alright? Shit, missed the live alert because you were watching Columbo, actually? God damn, this man. Hello? Hello? Base department? Holy shit, dude. That is the best excuse for missing the first half of a stream, let me tell you. You want a real hot take? Rename OM to BCR? Get rid of the chaff. True. Well, we might find it in here. There's like 50 in this one. We got a backup one with 50 in that one in case we run out. There's another 133 after the first 100 in case we can be here as long as we want. Here's a hot take. Columbo is old. True. And overrated. Probably true. I guess it doesn't necessarily deserve to have somewhat. I don't even think it's overrated. Who remembers Columbo? You got to be a certain type of 80 years old to know anything about Columbo, and the only thing you know is just one more thing. I don't even think it's overrated. I think it's like honestly mostly forgotten, and it's a charming show. It's a charming show. That is a hot take. Imagine how long the list would be if it wasn't generated by the chillest AoS niche internet micro celebrity community. Yeah, true. Can you imagine how bad these hot takes would be if we weren't like selecting for people who watch me or happen to see it shared on Twitter? So, you know, all the bad takes, they come from Twitter, obviously. Next. Eventually BCR is going to be basically squatted into ogres. True. Yeah, I know. You thought you could get me with this one, but I will not be Twitch acting. The writing has been on the wall since we lost the unique our own battle tome for ourself status, which we had in 1st edition, and was thrown aside in 2nd edition because ancient Warhammer Fantasy Battle people remember Ogre Kingdoms in that dead game. Well, it's not dead anymore. I guess they're bringing it back in Old World. I was pissed. So I went through my stages of grief for this hot take 5 years ago when AoS 2nd edition came out. I'm way past the acceptance stage. This is which way the wind is blowing. Yes. Eventually, it, you know, with the next book, I wonder if it'll even have a rough divide between some of the keywords in there. Although I will say that Beastclaw Raiders, with the massive Everwinter storm chasing them, that they turned their curse into a boon, they enslaved nature for their survival and overcame it, you know, turned it into a weapon, turned their weakness into a strength. That's pretty AoS. That's pretty Age of Sigmar. Gutbusters, they're just exactly the same as they were in Old World. Gutbusters don't even have the Age of Sigmar feel to them. They're generic, boring, which is why I find most of Warhammer Fantasy Battle to be boring, because it's just straight Lord of the Rings with one country's stereotypes thrown on top, and that's it. Boring. Age of Sigmar has 2 country stereotypes, sometimes even 3. Way better. But no, yeah, Beastclaw Raiders feels Age of Sigmarified a little bit. Guts don't. They don't have an AoS identity. They're just kind of the same ogres that they used to be. And so I think my hot take, I guess, is the Gutbusters got to get souped up a little bit. Feeling Age of Sigmar. BCR is already there. Anyway, yeah, I basically agree. I've with the hot take. I have already mourned this because it was clearly going to happen when we had our last battle tome. Good try though. Good try, kid. You'll have to wake up 100 years earlier in the morning to get me with something like that. All these half-released armies make me pause about starting something new. Yeah, probably. Here's the thing. I bet a lot of people are going to echo this sentiment, but you have to understand that you are a startling minority. Because usually new thing come out and people buy thing. New thing comes out, they buy the thing. straight consumer energy, right? That's what happens. If full armies all at once were better, they would do that generally because they're a business, right? So yeah. Sometimes it's about the circles you're in, the people you talk to, the mindset you share with those that you interact with. And everybody has kind of the same idea. But then you zoom out a little bit and you realize you're like 1/1,000,000 of 1%. And I bet that's probably this. I don't like half armies either, to be honest. And it does give me pause as well. But financially, it doesn't seem to for the greater writhing mass of millions of people, right? Anyway, agreeable, but maybe a hot take in the face of sheer numbers or something like that. You've been waiting for a new OBR for so long. Also, the Ossifactor was such a lazy release. Danilbert Danger. True. Does an army with only one good war scroll count as half an army? No, it counts as half of the armies. Let's go, the alley-oop from chat. Oh, I knew you were setting me up for that one, and I detected it. We did it. High fives all around. Got him. Oh, shit. Anyway, Sunshine in Black, thanks to the tier 1, 26 months, and big. Next. Mortal Wards. What they mean by this is Rune Wards, i.e. a ward that stops only mortal wounds, are a great mechanic that locking primarily to Slaves to Darkness or making the shitty spell-only versions is a crying shame. Most factions ought to have access to these in some form. Do not trust this person's lies. I am familiar with their game. They use fancy words talking about mortal wound wards and it shouldn't just be Slaves to Darkness. We should have more rune wards all over the game. What they really mean, they put a pill inside the dog treat. And the dog treat is mortal. There's too many mortal wounds in the game. Mortal wounds are overpowered. I play an army with 3 up armor and I don't like the fact that I can still die. My counter hot take is I see through your game. No thanks. No thanks, English. I'll keep my mortal wounds as good as they are. There are too many things that deal mortal wounds. Oh, we just have the same hot take back to back. This is indeed a hot take. It is wrong. Stormcast player detected, probably, or somebody else with an army that has good armor but is weak to mortal wounds. Or player who didn't play in any other edition but right now, because there are fewer mortal wounds going out on average now than ever before in the game of Age of Sigmar. Probably by 50% or even more. There's never been fewer mortal wounds going out than right now. It's been reduced over and over and over. Your army needs to have some sort of weakness, get good, etc., etc., etc. No thanks. Every unit can do mortal wounds if you just use curse. Yeah, you just have to get real close to do it, you know. Feeling attacked. Just make every attack deal mortal wounds. Problem solved. Yeah, if everyone has mortal wounds, then... Well, it's not really like no one has mortal wounds. TOW take incoming? I'll hold it off. I'll hold off on that one. Can you imagine a game where everything has to pass through all 4 dice rolls every single fucking attack sequence? Yeah, gross. Stop it. Can you imagine a game where things die even slower? Ugh, and time to go through my bodyguard. Time to go through the war. Oh, my guys died. Time to bring them back to life every hero phase. Oh, they all died. Time to bring half of them back to life. Just die. It's okay. You made a mistake. You die. I made a mistake. I die. I play against a shooting army. I get shot. Sometimes I lose to it. Play better next time. Get lucky next time. Let's get these games over with in 2 hours. Maybe we can play 2 of them in an evening. You know? Oh, sorry, I have my anti-mortal wound ward. Oh, well, actually, I have an anti-mortal wound ward mortal wound ability, so it goes through that. Okay. I'm gonna re-roll my ward now on a 6+. All right. Next. Now, here's my olive branch, because we're kind of joking around. Here's my olive branch. It's not that mortal wounds are too good, because they're not. It's that Rend is trash this edition, because armor stacking is crazy. It's crazy. And so the balance between normal damage, Rend damage, and mortal wounds damage, that balance is off. But it's not because the ceiling is too high. It's because armor is too great. And it's because, here's my hot take, all-out defense is downright overpowered. And it has warped the game. With Mystic Shield, you get +1 armor, right? With Mystic Shield, you have to predict what it is that they will be attacking. A little bit of skill there, right? You have to be predictive. Then you roll to cast it. Then they roll to unbind it. It goes on one thing, right? All-out defense, every single thing you ever fight forever, no matter what. Oh, it just so happens that one unit, +1 armor forever. Why does everybody say Roar is so overpowered? Roar is only good because it stops all-out defense. All-out defense is the real problem, people. Why won't they see the truth? Anyway, so there you go. Maybe the balance of damage types are off, but it's not because mortal wounds are too good. I don't think. They're weaker than ever, essentially. Don't forget Best Day Ever on their huge character model on top of the previous 2 together. Yep, as always. All-out attack, all-out defense should raise one stat but lower the other. I don't know that that would matter too terribly much. They say all out, but then they don't sacrifice anything. I guess what they sacrifice is the not choosing the other thing, I suppose, but good point. You know. Anyway, next. The old world is good for AoS. I think it will eventually build a bridge between these factions of gamers. These two things are different statements. I think the old world is probably bad for Age of Sigmar, but in a way that I don't particularly care about. You know? Like, if we're the only fantasy game that Games Workshop makes, more people will probably play us. It splits a community, I suppose. There are people who would have just played AoS forever and been happy, but now there's Old World and they want to try that. Most people who would choose... I don't know. I feel like a bunch of people are going to play both. I guess I just don't know. You think it will eventually build a bridge between these factions of gamers? No. I don't think so. I guess here's a thought experiment. Warhammer Fantasy Battle in 40k. Was there ever a competition there? Was there ever friction between the communities? Is there a bridge between those two games? I would kind of think it would end up being similar for AoS and the Old World. Half the people clamoring for Old World actively shit on AoS any chance they get, even though they haven't played it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that over the past 8 years. Got kind of tired of seeing it, to be honest. I think that Old World coming out is sort of a victory, or it will be seen as a victory by essentially the shittiest people. They're like, finally, they're getting rid of AoS and they're bringing the Old World back, the good version of the game. It'll be bolstered by it, I think. But on the other hand, as far as like raw numbers is concerned, there aren't a terribly large amount of those types anyway, in a real sense. You know, people like pay attention to them, but there aren't like a lot of them actually, you know. So I guess, I don't know. I guess I don't care. This has been a really long, meandering answer to this hot take, and eventually, I guess I don't care. I don't care if a bridge is built, because I don't care about this game. Just as I don't care if a bridge is built between Street Fighter 6 and Age of Sigmar. If you happen to play both games and you're in my chat, cool. Street Fighter 6 seems like a good game. But to me, they're that separate. I guess I don't care. Yeah, there was 8 years of fucking animosity. Age of Shitmar, hearing it every video I make has Age of Shitmar as a comment for 7 years. That shit got old. But I don't know that we need to throw it back at them. I don't care. Like, it's pointless to throw that energy back at them, even. Unironically, it's like the Madman elevator scene, where the one guy's like, more like Age of Shitmar, and I'm like, I don't ever think about you. I don't know who you are. I'm just playing my game that I like, you know? I don't know. So, long story short, I don't particularly care. I hope their game succeeds, like I said in my YouTube video. I hope they enjoy their game, and I hope that it succeeds. I'm just not interested in it. Just as I was not interested in Warhammer Fantasy Battle when it was technically still alive. For my whole life. There's a lot of games I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in Bolt Action, or Crusader Kings, or Sword of Ice and Fire, or the Middle-earth game that Games Workshop made for a while, and I think they still do. I just don't care. But good luck. We went from not enough FAQs to the company leaning too hard on them. Makes owning the books seem like a complete waste. Well, if that's the take, then I agree with it, because owning the books is a complete waste. Because you only buy the books generally for the rules, and the rules get changed online, and so you might as well just use Wahapedia. It sucks to say it, because I would like to support the company that makes the game I like. And the last few battle tomes I've bought from them, I found myself buying it because I like the game they make. And that's what you do. I like your product, here's money, give me the product, right? It's classic. But then I don't even take it out of the shrink wrap. Why? Why do I want a book? I'll just go to Wahapedia on my fucking phone and play from that. Yeah, owning the books is a complete waste. I don't think that's the FAQ's fault. Really. I mean, it's partially because the FAQs, but it's also because the FAQs are necessary. And armchair, loudmouth, douchebag, content creator thinks it's easier than it really is. Can say stuff like, man, they didn't spend a lot of time on these. This is lazy. These aren't very good. They used to have 18 options, and now there's 3, and only one of them is good. 2 of them still suck, you know? And none of that can't be like really true, but goddamn, it seems like it. You can't even write 3 artifacts that a player would want to play, and you want me to give you $40 for a fucking book. I don't know, man. They're full color. There's a lot of lore in there that I think is interesting to read one time. Path to Ignory, I don't know. $50, whatever. Jesus Christ. I'm getting the production value, I'm just not getting the thorough completeness. The care, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, agreeable take. Even if it isn't quite all because of the FAQs. I just don't see the quality there. The tasteful thickness of it, yeah. Somebody had a neat comment. I'm going to try to find it. Do you play normal board games? No. Bus stop, train station. I don't much care for board games. I'm gonna be honest with you. I played what I played for most of my life was Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering, video games. Board games, war games, miniature games, never was even remotely interested in them. 25 years. Age of Sigmar comes around and I'm like, yeah, I'll paint some models. That's kind of the story, you know? Had a few different friends. Everybody's got one of those friends, maybe more than one of those friends, really into board games. Really into board games. Can tell you the difference between a Euro war game or a Euro board game and an American board game and all this stuff. I just don't see what they see in it. It's kind of fascinating from a game design perspective, but I'm like violently not trying to go over to somebody's house with 5 friends and play fucking Dominion or some shit. I don't know. I'm a house on Haunted Hill or whatever. Put a VHS in and follow. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a board game guy. Maybe a bunch of wargamers are because it's similar. But, I don't know. Does Hive count as a board game? I think it does because I haven't ever heard of it. And so it probably is a board game. Catan was a gateway drug. I hated that game. I was forced to play Settlers of Catan or whatever. I was forced to play that one time by one of the 3 obsessed with board game players in my 3 different friend groups from 10 years ago. Holy shit, did I hate that game. And the pizza they ordered, trash. Anyway, next. Games Workshop ought to update War Scrolls more often. A fair few of them are entirely useless. And not being able to use the models in the intended way without it simply being a "this is too cheap not to use" option is bad. Yeah. 100% true. This is just right. I don't know if they should update War Scrolls more often. This part, I don't know, man. I don't know about this part. You think you do, but you don't. Every single army has several War Scrolls that you could do this to, times 26 armies. I bet there's 200 War Scrolls in the game easily that are in the race to the bottom that would never get played unless they had a change in War Scroll. You want them to make 200 War Scrolls and put it in the next Battle Scroll? And then of the ones they re-release, probably 3/4 of them still aren't good enough. No, you're going after the symptom. I want to go after the disease, and the disease is, in the battle tomes in the first place, a fair few of them are entirely useless. And not being able to use them in their intended way is a kind of a crime. They got to write better battle tomes. It stops so much shit in the future, right? Prevention is so much cheaper than treatment, remember, right? As far as I can see, I don't know what their system is like, but it seems like they give the rules team maybe 4 or 5 days, I would guess, to write the rules for an entire battle tome. I just feel like they should give them 2 weeks or something. Maybe even give them 3 weeks. Then you don't have to do that later, you know? I don't know. To you, the root of the problem is the 3-year cycle. Yeah, their cycle is the drip feed every few months of a battle tome for an army that has been using last edition's rules for up to 3 years is optimized for people who can't stop window shopping and immediately buying the new thing that comes out. It's been optimized for selling stuff, but it's the worst possible system you could ever have for actually playing the fucking game. I've done this before, and it's maybe a little unfair, but I don't even think they deserve the pity points for me to tell them that it isn't fair. It's like if the next version of Dungeons and Dragons came out, you know, all the classes in Dungeons and Dragons, you got your fighter, you got your wizard, you got your cleric, right? It would be like if 6th edition Dungeons and Dragons came out and there's only fighter, thief, cleric, no wizard. And then 2 years later, wizard comes out. Like, and they're just like, yeah, just play with the old one. That's crazy. That's so shit. That's so shit. I know why they do it the drip feed constant release way. It's way better for business. But it sure fucking sucks for the players. And it sucks as a game. And a lot of other games don't do that and are still very successful. So yeah, this take, the first part, I'm not sure. It's perhaps a little bit of a slippery slope, but the second half, damn, simply true. Yeah, they do that with subclasses, but not main classes. They do that with the million, you know, splat books and player's option, but the main ones, you know, they're keeping it. So that's why it's not like 100. Fireball spell is a DLC for Wizard in the game store, yeah. Switch hats, sure. It doesn't have to be cream team the whole time, right? You think it should swap to index releases every edition? I don't know what index releases are. Wait, is that a 40k thing? Indexes are really nice. Pre-order bonus, long rest. The Wahapedia of D&D, if you will, yeah. Index plus Grand Alliance books. Man, remember when the GHBs had stuff in them? 40k had rules for all armies right as the system dropped. Okay, alright. And they called those indexes. So it's kind of like a first edition General's Handbook. Because back in the old days, a General's Handbook had everybody's army allegiance rules in it. Because not everybody had a book. Almost no one had a book. And so they just released this big old GHB that had everybody's army rules in it. So it's essentially, it would be like that then. Well, then that's as good as those rules are. And however much care and time they spend on them, I suppose, right? That system could be real shitty if the indexes are just low effort and immediately replaced with something completely different or whatever, but, you know, so I guess we just don't know. Everybody having rules that were written during the edition that they are played in, I'll take that. I guess I'll have to take that W. Why don't they just make your stuff better and everything else worse? They do. Good army choice, by the way. Bravery as it stands now in 3rd edition is not only useless, but is an insulting waste of time to think about in a game. Either make it a meaningful mechanic like in 10th edition 40k, or get rid of it completely. Wrong. We have our first completely wrong take. 100, not even one part of this is correct. Bravery as it stands in Age of Sigmar is indeed mostly useless. And that's the best possible timeline to be living in. It's essentially a meaningless stat. You use Inspiring Presence, and then you, for the most part, almost never need to meaningfully interact with it. That's the best world. If they made it matter, if they made Bravery matter, it would fucking suck. It would be annoying. At the very least, it would make the game way more annoying. And it would be straight up not fun, guaranteed. And if they got rid of it completely, they would try to replace it with something. And now we're back to this first one. It essentially not mattering is the best place we could be. If they try to fix it, they'll only make it not fun, just like coherency. And if they get rid of it completely, they'll try to replace it with something. And if they pull in some 40k fanfiction ass rule like you can't capture or whatever, ugh. Absolutely disgusting. Grotesque. And the best thing is to ignore it. If they got rid of Inspiring Presence, the shit would suck. The game would be way worse. Oh shit. I'm not saying it's a good system. In fact, it's a bad system. But we are allowed to mostly ignore it, and mostly ignoring a bad system is way better than them trying to fix it, and I guarantee fucking it up. Anyway, there's my counter hot take, I suppose. Bravery should only matter in narrative games. True, let them deal with it. They love story shit like that. Seems like Warhammer Fantasy Battle and the Old World are basically built around leadership. Good, they can be leadership games. That doesn't sound fun to me. But if you build a game around them, I'm sure mechanically it'll work out. Please enjoy. I prefer this kind of game. Please enjoy your Bravery game. Unironically. But now that you have an outlet, now that you have a game that's built around leadership, leave us alone. Don't try to fix it. It's fine. I mean, you could phase it out and not replace it with anything. The wheel on everybody's war scroll would look kind of empty, but I guess that's fine. Anyway, good hot take.